in this video, we're going to show you how to do this really cool painting. Check it out, stay tuned, and then you could visit us at stonecoatcountertops.com. Enjoy the video.
Hey, I'm Margaret, and I just finished making one of my epoxy art paintings using Stone Coat countertop resin. Hey, if a 66-year-old grandma at 22 can make this, you can make it.
All right.
Step by step, I'll show you how I did it. Hey, I'm Margaret. I make contemporary art out of Stone Coat countertop resin. I started looking at some of those YouTube videos and I thought, you know, I can create art out of that. So I'm going to show you how I do it. I start out with 1/4-inch MDF board. My husband helps me with this. We put a lip on it. This is how it looks. It's just glued on, sanded down. A little bit of router work on the bottom and the top so it flows real even. When I'm all done, it's ready to hang on the wall. So the first thing I have to do is prime it. So today I'm using white primer. If I want different colors, I use different background primer. This one I'm going to make is a custom order with some yellows and blues and greens, so I'm going to start with a white background. So I'm not an expert, so you just got to bear with me. But first I'm going to start out doing the sides. Sometimes I don't get enough paint, but you can always go back. I started doing this because I was retired and I was bored. And I thought there's got to be something I can do with my life besides make cookies for my 22 grandkids. So this is what I create. I have them in a couple of local galleries. I go to some of the little craft fairs. Sometimes I do pretty good, sometimes I don't sell anything, but I talk to a lot of people. In fact, this is how I got this order. A gentleman came up, loved my work, talked to me for a long time. He was a talker. Then he called me and he wanted me to create something for his mother's 73rd birthday. So she must be quite a lady. She doesn't want a picture of a tree or a fruit bowl. She likes contemporary art. So he gave me some colors and just a little bit of an idea, and he said, create whatever you can come up with. So I'm going to get this ready, and it'll be ready to be delivered probably in a couple, 3 days, in time for her birthday. I'm sure some of you could do this a lot quicker than I do, but it gets the job done. This is why I don't paint the walls in my house. It would take me forever. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just a base coat, but I think that helps when you start putting on your colors and the resin. You want something covering up this MDF board. You wouldn't want that showing through. It's not quite as pretty. I wear an apron. I started out having to wear my husband's old clothes because I was so sloppy with it, but I'm getting a little better. But don't wear your Sunday best, that's for sure. Okay, it's about ready, and all I have to do is let it dry. Then I'll be ready to start the magic. You'll be surprised. You can see in the background I put up some of the things I've already done, and it really, there's no two that are alike. I'm back. It only took about 30 minutes for this to dry, so I had time to do the dishes and clean up the kitchen a bit. Mike's over here filming me. I told him I'd do this for him because I use his product. I wasn't real happy about it, but I'm no movie star, so I'll do my best. Okay, it's dry. What I'm going to do is get my sandpaper and just very lightly sand it, just in case there's like a little rough spot or a little nub of paint. You don't want that on there, but you don't have to sand like crazy, just a little bit. Just make sure it's nice and smooth. See, there was a little something on there. That feels pretty good. Okay, now the fun begins. It took me a while to feel comfortable with this, and there's some days I feel more comfortable than others, depending on the arthritis is feeling, but I can do it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. Because when I kind of saw the process, I was scared to death. I thought, I can't do it, I can't do it. But look at here, I did do it. Okay, we start out mixing, and you have to be really careful. It has to be really accurate. So I just pretend like I'm baking. You put too much of something into your brownies, they're not going to turn out. So here we go. First I do 8 ounces of the B formula here. You know, I'm going to turn it this way. Sometimes it's easier for me to see from the inside out. And this is just a little, one of those little plastic things you can get at the hardware store or Home Depot. I have to laugh. I go into these places and buy all this spray paint, and they look at me like I'm a tagger or something. But I try to explain, no, I'm an artist, and I don't know if they believe me or not, but none of my fences or walls have any writing on it, so I guess I'm okay. All right, now I'm going to add this. This is the thicker stuff. And just get it right up to the 16-ounce mark. This one's a little slower, but it's probably better it comes out slow than fast, or I'd get too much. And this goes a long ways. The bigger ones I use 24 ounces, 12 and 12. There we go, perfect. So now this is where I have to use my muscles and my stomach and my arms. When Mike showed me, he held the thing in one hand and mixed away with this drill. Oh boy, I can't do that. So I put it here, hold it with my hand and my belly and the board, and just start mixing. Okay, so it's mixed up. I always put the drill still on my, if you see my board, you can tell all the colors I've made. And if you see every now and then, there's a stir stick stuck to the table. Don't leave anything on there with the epoxy. Okay, I want to make this, instead of just having it clear on this white, I want to really pop that background. So I'm going to stir in some of the white paint, the coat, the paint they give you. So I got that. The biggest thing I've had to learn is to get the stuff out of my way. Sometimes I get so much around me, I'm drowning in it. Okay, I'm going to use my stick and mix that up really good. Just mix the paint into the resin, the epoxy mixture. And like I say, I'm making this custom for this nice lady's birthday, so I really want to make it special. I'm going to add some of their pearl. It's their little, oh, what do you call it? Metallics, that's it. And a little bit goes a long ways, but it's just pearl. Gives it that little glisten. So there you go. Add a little more just for a touch. Took me a while to get comfortable with all the little additives, but once you use them, you really want to use them. There's spray metallics that I've used. Oh, like in this one I used the gold, and it's hard to probably see it, but it really gives it a different look. So like I say, you just have to have fun with it. All right, now we're ready. I hope I'm ready. This is the kind of the part that took me a little longer to get comfortable with, just because I'd never touched a trowel in my life, and that's 66 years. So that's a long time not touching a trowel. Pour this out. I'm even going to scrape in here. Oh, you know what? I forgot something really important. Forgot to put my gloves on. Trying to look like such a movie star. I forgot that part. And man, if you don't have them on, you got to use a lot of that gooey soap stuff. There we go. Now I feel like a surgeon. I'm a doctor of art. Let's call it that. Cover up my watch. All right, here we go. You just spread it out. Try not to get it so it runs off the edge, which is kind of the hardest thing for me. But you put it on the edge after. I'll show you that. It's just kind of like frosting a big old cake, but you're not using a spatula, you're using this trowel. And you put the teeth side down. I know on the video, sometimes I see them doing it so fast. I'm not that fast, but whatever works, works. They seem to turn out okay. All right, now I'm going to take my brush and chop it. And you don't chop it in lines, you just chop it all around crazy. This kind of smooths it out. Don't worry about the air bubbles. I'll show you the trick on that in a bit. Okay, and then you get it on your sides, and it'll start running off a little bit, so it's pretty easy. But you want it on the sides so you get that pretty look, and you don't really have to paint it or anything. It just kind of all flows. Flows off the board where the paint is, so it just kind of is an extension of the painting. Which I know people have asked me, how do you get it on the sides? And I say, oh, that's a trick of mine. I don't tell them, it just does it. Makes me sound more professional, I guess. But the first couple I did, I was a little nervous, have to admit, but it didn't take me long to feel comfortable with it. And that's what's nice about it. It isn't something that you have to go to classes and learn or pay somebody to teach you. If you've got a computer and you can watch the videos, you can pretty much figure out how to do this. Okay, now I am ready for the torch. And every time I turn it on, I jump still, so don't be alarmed. Okie doke. This is just a torch with a canister that I use when I go camping. But you run over it and see those air bubbles go away? Isn't that something? Don't ask me how, but it works. About ready for the paint. That's the fun part. I'll kind of try to show you all the different ways I put it on. But I think I'll start with yellow's her favorite color. So I'm going to go for some yellow up here. I think I'll put it, you can put it on different ways. I'm going to put this on with a brush. So I just paint a little spray paint on my brush. It goes a long ways. You don't need much. And okay, I went on with a brush. Now here's another technique where you can just do with a stick for a little smaller area or whatever you want to do. Kind of like that. Okay, here we go with some blue. I'll start out with a little darker blue. That was easy, huh? Let's try this one. It's about the same. Here's my light blue. All right. Now to mix that around, I'm going to kind of use my brush because I want to get some white in there. See how the white comes up from the base coat? This lady likes sky. Isn't that pretty? Look at that. I want to mix in some of this yellow because her other favorite color is green. Guess what? Blue and yellow makes kind of a green. But I'm going to add some green. I got this real pretty green apple I just bought. I want to try it out. It's real light. There we go. I thought I put a little here. Let's see. Okay, how about the stick? I never thought in my life I'd be painting with sticks, except maybe when it was mud pies. Here we go. You just play with it. You just play and play. And I wanted to get, where'd my light blue go? I think I'm going to add some blue up in with that yellow. Because it doesn't look as good if it's just one color. You don't have the depth. Then you know all this is going to move and do its own thing when you start using that torch again. This is a little darker green. Oh, we got to shake these suckers. There we go. Just adding a little tad. Crazy, isn't it? Start out with one thing and end up with all kinds of others. Okay, just have to play with it. You just have to play. I think I'm going to add a little more yellow since that seems to be her favorite color. I like that blue down the center. I think I might. My problem is you get going. Sometimes you just have to know when to quit, when you've got enough. Because sometimes less is more. Sometimes you can go crazy and more is more on some of these. Okay, I'm still, what I don't like this. You can use your same stick, just wipe it off. I don't like how this blue looks like a big line there. You can move it around so it looks more like a natural natural veining. See that? Doesn't that look better? Might still look too liney. I like that better. See how the white shows up underneath? Oh yeah, I like that much better. See that? A little bit. A little bit makes a difference. What should I do now? Wish you guys could talk to me. I do what you tell me. I still think I want a little more yellow, just because that's her color. I think I might add it down in here. Kind of happy with that blue, so I think I'll try to leave that alone. And if you can see the sides, see what they're doing? Look at that. Doesn't that look like I worked really hard trying to get it to look that way? It just does it. It's magic. You go up with it, and then it's just going to look more flowy. See that? Over here I got a couple spots I'm going to go up on, make them continuous. Boy, I hope she likes this. I'm liking it. This gentleman is so sweet. He said his mother has everything and every knick-knack you could want, but when he saw this painting, he knew she'd make room on her wall for one. So I was very honored to be part of somebody's special birthday. I think I might put a little bit of darker green in here. I like that veining look. This is called leafy green. It was funny, he asked her, he said he didn't tell her what she was getting, but he just said, I'm giving you a quiz on some of your favorite things. So her favorite colors, guess, blue, yellow, and green. And then he asked her, do you like the wind or the rain? She said wind. And I'm like, oh great. They all kind of look windy to me because of the movement. Another thing, he said her lucky number is 7, but I don't think I'm going to put a 7 in this. Maybe when I sign it, I'll put a fancy little 7 that see if she spots. What was some of the other neat things? Oh, that she likes the sky. Well, who doesn't like the sky? She likes the day. That's one reason I did the blue and the lighter shades. You know, I think I might be, well, I see a spot up here I don't like. See, you can always fiddle. That looks just too much like a circle there. Okay, here we go. Now watch this paint move a bit and the bubbles come out. See that? Isn't that cool? This is the part I like the best. It's kind of funny though, I take all this time putting stuff where I want it, and then the torch really puts it where it wants it, which usually looks better. Yeah, this goes a little crazy. Well, what do you think?
Love it.
It's real feminine, isn't it? Now if you see these little dots? You can take care of those with your finger. You don't want those dots. Just want to make that kind of spread a little. crazy. I'm just kind of straightening out some of the little dots and stuff.
That's great.
And you can just use your finger to do it. If you want the dot a little bigger or add a little more white, you can just move it. I think I'm done. Now maybe one more go over with my torch. And we've got a painting, and I never name them because everybody sees something different. In fact, I sell a lot of these going horizontal and people hang them vertical on their wall, or I'll twist them around for a few days to see where I even want to sign it. So you can really, it's really up to the individual to see what they want to see and do with it what they want to do with it. There you go. One more creation by Margaret the Grandma. Thanks, Mike.
You want to tell us your, do you want to give out your phone number for people to call you?
Sure, if you'd like to call. I don't even have a web page. That seems too hard, but somebody's going to help me do it. I have a Facebook page that's inspired by stone, and you can find me there. My phone number is 541-291-2489. I'll answer any questions. I'll take a custom order. I'll ship them anywhere, as long as you pay shipping. And we're good to go. I really enjoyed this. I wasn't quite as nervous as I thought I'd be. Maybe I'll do another one someday.
Thank you very much. You did amazing.
You're welcome.
Great job.
Okay. Oh, it takes about 24 hours to dry. Okay. And then all these, there'll be some drips. I'm not good with the sander. I'm too nervous using it. But my husband will just take it, and if there's any little nubby drips, just and he zips them right off. So you could, then it becomes a real smooth edge. Show you this one. See how smooth it is? He just shaved those nubs off. So, ready to hang. Thanks again. Have fun. I hope you try to make some art, and if you do, send me a picture of it. Bye.